Hi guys, it's Horsey Steph, and today I am back with another Horse Trainer Reacts to Horse Fails. I thought that these videos were so fun to film last week, so my plan is to make Horse Fails a weekly tradition on this channel. Go ahead and leave a comment down below, let me know what you think about that, and if you have any other suggestions to react to. And go ahead and also hit that like button and subscribe for future videos. I want to apologize first and foremost that I didn't get a video out yesterday. I was sick, as I think most of you guys already know, and then I had food poisoning. So on top of being sick, getting the food poisoning was just, I just couldn't function. So I do apologize so deeply I did not get a video out. In the future, I'm hoping to be able to at least post something to let you guys know when a video is not going to go out. I feel a little bad that I didn't do that. I just was feeling so sick. I wasn't functioning at all. But anyway, enough about me. Let's go ahead and jump into this video and see what fails we have to react to. Oh no! Alright, looks like a slow motion refusal. This video started really fast. I didn't think I was ready for it, but looks like the horse swerved and the rider came right off. Sit up, stay straight, but certainly something that happens, and I didn't see enough lead up to really give much opinion on that. Oh, dirty stop. Those are the hardest to sit. The ones where the horse really dives into the fence to stop instead of properly like sitting back and stopping. It's so easy to get on the horse's neck, and once you're on the horse's neck, they really just pull you the rest of the way into the fence and you have no hope of saving it. So I feel for her, that is really hard to ride. You really have to sit back really well. So much easier to ride those sliding stops where they're going to kind of sit you back just a little bit anyway versus putting you forward. That was nice. Oh, and then we dirty stopped at it. Oh god, okay, that last one was literally my least favorite. Lou's done that a couple times to me and really popped me out of the tack. That like you're confident they're gonna stop, and then at the last minute they just are like, nope, I'll do it, and they bunny hop it. Really, you don't expect it, especially from horses that are dirty stoppers. To me, that seems like an issue of the horse just not really being sure whether they want to jump it or not, and they're making up their mind at the last minute. But super tricky to ride, and something I'm really working to try to solve with my mare, because it is kind of a habit. She's done it a few times now. And lots of bucking. She didn't say that. Oh, this looks like, yeah, okay, so as soon as she had somebody trying to lead her into the water and she gave that horse a kick, I knew the horse was going to react dramatically. Clearly this horse didn't want to go in the water. He was already worried about the water, and they just kind of forced him into it. So there was no chance he was going to just walk into it calmly. He was definitely going to be like, oh my god, I have to go, and just throw himself into it. It's a reaction horses do a lot when they're a little bit worried about something and they feel like they have no choice but to do it. So they overreact going into it and kind of like panic into it. And something I wouldn't want to have had to have ridden bareback, but certainly if I were going to ride bareback, I would be grabbing mane and doing everything possible to stay secure, because again, I knew that was coming. But at least it looks like everyone's fine. The horse is going to get out of the water again, because the horse didn't want to be in the water in the first place. So this one, I don't know if something just hit his legs, but he just trotted off. Seems likely something hit his legs and kind of spooked him. Oh, that was just disorganized. I mean, she could have saved that if she had a little bit more balance and stayed a little straighter. You could tell she was a little wiggly coming up to that, and then, you know, the horse really did nothing wrong. Oh, and then the horse stops. So this rider just seems kind of green, and the horse is kind of taking advantage of it. Thank goodness. Oh, I spoke too soon. I was like, thank goodness she made it over that time. But she's a pretty green rider, and she has trouble sticking with this pony who's not super reliable. And I'm not dissing that pony at all. I don't think it's a bad pony. I just think he might be a little bit green, or just a little bit, you know, you can see that sometimes he stops or he jumps a little bit big. She really needs a steady Eddie type that's gonna just not put a foot wrong, because she doesn't really have enough balance and skill to ride anything else. Oh, that horse just totally, like, didn't jump, it tripped over it. That is a little bit of a tricky thing to ride when you're expecting them to jump and they just kind of, like, step over it at the last minute. Certainly not something I've ever come off of, but I could see how that might toss you off balance a little bit, because you don't expect it. Alright, so she's canting around on the field and the horse just kind of stops and she goes right over its head. I don't have a lot of sympathy for that. If your horse stops, you should be able to stay with them. If you can't, then you need to become a better rider before you're out galloping in the field. Let's go ahead and see what's happening here. This looks like some sort of kid. Horse is throwing a fit, wants to maybe leave the arena. Yeah, I think the horse would like to leave the arena, not go in. They have somebody walking. So that was a well done job by the girl, and I think having the person go in and lead the horse in was a good idea just for safety. Obviously the horse not going into the ring is an issue and should be addressed as to why the horse doesn't want to go in the ring, but I think that situation was handled fairly well, and having the person lead the girl in on the horse was a good idea, because you just don't want that situation to escalate, especially with a small child. Alright, so it looks like the horse stumbled and she just came right off the side. Poor horse, poor rider, and now she's under the horse, which really sucks. God, I hope she didn't get real hurt, but it seems possible. I'm pretty sure the horse just crushed her, so I'm sure that was extremely painful and really sucks, because that's definitely the definition of a freak accident. The rider looked perfectly capable, cantering around in a neck rope, and really should have been just fine, but the horse tripped and started to go down and she went down under the horse. There's just not a lot you can do about that sort of situation, but it really does suck. Alright, so she's doing an around the world dance. The horse doesn't like it. I probably, for my own, like, safety and well-being, would have stopped doing that dance and gotten back the right way, or dismounted when I saw that horse start to throw its head up and start to walk a little bit. You could tell the horse was uncomfortable and he was trying to figure out how to react to the stimuli, and the longer it went on, the more he just couldn't handle it anymore, and then eventually moved forward and kind of bucked her off a little bit. I think that was a very avoidable situation, though, by just stopping when the horse got uncomfortable, allowing him to relax, and helping him understand what was going on in the situation instead of just overwhelming him until he had to do something. Looks like it was a super kind horse. Probably like that's the worst thing he's done in his life. Seems like a horse that really wanted to take care of her and really wanted to stay present in that situation, even though he was totally overwhelmed and panicking. Oh, another casualty over a fence. You know, just, you gotta sit up. I feel like 99% of jumping fails are people that don't sit up when the horse kind of slows to a stop. They go over the fence instead. Hilarious to watch, but just gotta sit up. So I don't know what's happening with this horse. That's a big buck on it, and it looks like he really popped her out of the tack. So I'm imagining she's about to go flying. Yeah, as anticipated. She held that better than I thought she would, but she had an awful lot of air time. Oh my god. So this horse just completely fell after the fence, kind of dove and fell and rolled. That's the stuff in nightmares. Like, please, people, find me reaction fail videos that don't involve horses falling, because I would feel much better on those. Those just... Oh, okay, it's gonna make me sick. Let's just move on. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Alright, so cantering around. This horse is getting really short. Yeah, so I had an inkling that might not go well, because as the horse came onto the fence, it was getting really, really sucked back and short. Certainly there are horses that do get really sucked back and short, and then they get to the fence and they launch it, but majority of horses, when they get really sucked back and short, are going to then stop at the fence. So that wasn't completely shocking to me that that happened, and certainly the horse getting short is a problem. It's a tension response. The horse is getting really tight and tense, so something to work on for sure, and again, I saw that coming, so she should have been able to stay back, especially since the horse was barely moving. She should have been able to stay back and wait for that to happen. Alright, another one. It was a nice, graceful dismount, but again, the horse really sucked back coming up to that, which is a red flag. They're gonna stop. Oh god. Alright, so this horse just dove through the fence and fell on landing, so really poor jumping technique. It's why a dive is considered one of the worst jumping forms, because it is quite dangerous and can lead to falls like that. Oh, that was cool. Wait, why did the... Hold on. So I was busy watching the girl closest to us that put her hands out over the fence, and the horse kind of got a little bucky, but she picked up real fast and was fine. Why did the other girl fall off? Oh, so her horse got a little bolty too, and she got left behind. She didn't pick up her reins as fast. Alright, yeah. That horse in the snow was really throwing kind of a fit, so... This is such a good dismount. I would not have the skill to do that. If I get tossed over a fence, I'm gonna get tossed over the fence, but she just nicely had a little seat on it. What a great job. I mean, she did come off, but that was a pretty cool way of coming off. Ugh. Oh, you can save it, you can save it, you can... No, never mind. Ugh. These people that come off should really just let go of their horse's face. Oh, yeah. I mean, that horse looks pretty unreliable and worried in the first place. Oh, my, that was a big buck for seemingly no reason. Oh, the taking off, getting all excited, little pony antics. Oh god. Okay, so this is why you need to have a controlled pace coming into fences. I'm realizing as I watch more of these horses falling that a lot of the falling is really riders setting the horse up for failure. She was coming in way too fast to be jumping. Even in the upper level jumpers where time is really important, you would never gallop a fence like that. It's dangerous. It's hard for the horse to be able to pick up its feet in time, especially if you don't have a super careful horse. That's going to end badly. And lo and behold, she didn't have a super careful horse, and it did end badly for her. So really, it's important that you have an organized, controlled pace going up to your fences. As you add speed, you do so in a controlled manner, so you still have a lot of organization. You can find your spot, and your horse has the ability to pick up their feet cleanly instead of just kind of toppling through the fence. This is a cute little pony. Oh, he didn't even stop. I mean, I don't know. She should have been able to stay on that. He just kind of slowed down. Oh god. Those cross-country fences, man, that had to have hurt so bad. Alright, this horse just really dragged its hind end. Again, I would have expected her to stay on that, but he dragged his hind end, got caught up in the poles, and kind of took the whole jump down with his hind end. So I'm sure everyone was okay from that. I am sure the horse got a little bruised up, but certainly just a mistake. That's why we use poles that come down, because really everyone walks away from that with some minor bruising and no real major issues. Oh, the horse fell. So that is a danger that can happen on the beach. When you hit some of those low spots, sometimes you're galloping along, the horse could slip and fall. Or you can hit mini sinkholes where the tide is kind of washed away the sand and draws you in, and that's also extremely dangerous. Certainly something that does happen, and that really sucks. So something, if you are riding on the beach, to be careful about, could be life-threatening for sure. I don't know if that's what happened in that video, but anything that involves kind of sinking in could be life-threatening. You're probably better galloping on the hard-packed sand, not in the actual water, or swimming in the water if you are going to go in the water instead of galloping on the sand under the waves, because you just can't see that footing and you don't know what's going to happen. Alright, so she really needed to get off that horse's face, push him forward. That would have avoided a lot of the issues. Or if she was so sure that her horse was going to take that fence. And it's really when people get overconfident that the horses stop or duck out and they come off. If you're really sitting back and riding the horse to everything, you'll run into so many fewer issues. This one, I can already see from the screenshot, like the horse jumped it just fine, but she's gotten ahead of the horse. She's not sitting up on landing. I'm sure she's gonna go right over that shoulder in about half a second. Yep, indeed. And the horse did nothing wrong. She just leaned forward way too much over her fence. Oh god! Arena etiquette! So I'm not sure whose fault that was, but certainly the one that was trotting into the rail could have looked ahead, seen that horse bolting it down the rail, and moved. I would guess that bolting horse she didn't have any control of, but horse collisions can end badly for everyone involved. Gotta look out, and if somebody's lost control of their horse, it's your responsibility to control your horse so that you do not crash. A little bucky buck, come right off. It amazes me how many people can't ride a simple buck. Oh god, see that like stop and jump thing, it's real hard to sit. Real hard to sit. Ugh. Alright, so she got on that horse's neck. When you get on their neck, they do not always save you. It is not a good place to be. Oh my. This horse was walking around so quietly, I wouldn't have expected him to just blow up, and that was not a little rear. That was, I mean, straight freaking up. I would have had trouble staying on that too. Yeah, so again, got really forward. Totally avoidable if she just stayed back. The horse jumped just fine. That one, she got real forward and the horse stopped. This one, again, all these people leaning on their horse's neck. Sit back, stay off their neck. Oh. That's a decent little buck. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think this horse might have bucked on the trail or something, but good that the other girl was able to get off her horse and catch her friend's horse. So she got really forward over that ground pole because she didn't release. So she held to the ground pole, allowed her horse to pull herself forward, so she was tipped forward, and then by the time she got to the fence, she was so tipped forward when he kind of bunny hopped because she had a death grip on his face, she got too forward and just bounced out of the tack. Gotta give that release, gotta sit back. Your best position to be in jumping, your most defensive position is going to be a little bit of a loose rein, sitting back, heels driving forward, and then fold over your fence, sit back again. So you don't have a lot of control of the horse that way, but you're going to stay out of their way and really stay secure. Anything else is like finessing and starting to ask your horse for a little bit more control. But this idea that you want to grab the face and be forward is about the worst position you can be in, and the position I see people get into most frequently when they are worried or think that something bad is going to happen. Again, if she hadn't been on the horse's neck, would have been perfectly fine. And that's kind of the theme of this video this time, right? Don't lean on your horse's neck because they tend to go down and you tend to get in trouble. Alright, that one, the horse stopped and backed up. Purely because she was on his neck. The jump itself was fine, she just buried her hands in his neck, really irritated him, and he was like, I'm done with this. This is another classic stop she just didn't sit up to. Had a long spot. The horse didn't do anything that bad, but he did jump that quite long. I think another stride would have fit in there easily. I don't know if it was her mistake or his mistake. Always the rider could correct that, but she certainly didn't look skilled enough to do that. So seems like he probably normally takes a good spot and this time just missed it for some reason. And she got left behind, couldn't go with it, fell off over the fence because she just was so unprepared for him to take that spot. And I'd imagine that's very uncharacteristic of him. He doesn't normally take spots like that. Again, came up real fast, real short, looked like a stopper to me. This one is a bunny hop. She sat it well though. And I go to a buck after the fence. I do not like when horses do this, and it really indicates that there is something that is upsetting or painful to the horse about jumping. I refuse to believe that's ever playful, as some people will indicate. Had trouble seeing that. I think she just got really forward and fell over his shoulder. Again, another horse is throwing a fit after the fence. This one, she just didn't stay on over that fence at all. Nothing this cute little pony did. go forward, go forward, go forward. And got to top that fence. The horse actually fell over that one on the stop. That's pretty unusual. Normally when a horse stops, they do keep their feet under them because that is a priority for them, is staying upright. Most horses will not choose to stop over jumping if they think they're gonna fall during the stop. So that was a little unique, but. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that horse fails video. And I'm going to try to find some horse fails that are a little bit different for our next horse fails video, because I feel like so many of these fails are just horses stopping at fences and people falling over their heads, which is so common and funny and all, but it gets kind of old after a while. So I don't want to react to just horses stopping and people falling off their head every single video. I just will run out of things to say and won't be super entertaining for you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this one, even though it was a lot of stopping and falling over the head again. And I will find something better for you next time. If you have any future video suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day,